Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here, as we're about to tell today's video, here to showcase how to perfect your off-ball defense in NBA 2K23 from a variety of different things. And in today's video, we're showcasing me playing alongside my small point guard, 6'1", my boy Zeke. He's grinding a new build, has pretty decent steal rating and solid perimeter defense rating as well, but obviously you have to protect your smaller guards when they're getting dominated on the interior, and that's what we're showcasing in today's video. So like I said, off-ball defense is the focus. I want you guys to pay attention to the fact that I'm playing corner D a lot in this game. So that's what we're here to showcase in today's video. I hope y'all enjoy. If you do, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all good stuff, and like always, try to win to 2,000 likes. Now, you're going to see off rip, I'm going to let you see at full speed, but the overload defense. I think overload is the worst way you can play 3v3. It doesn't make sense to have two off-ball players on one side of the court, generally, unless you run off-ball screens with it consistently. But in this situation, this is allowing Tonic to drop down as the 7'2", albeit he's on a new build, doesn't have great interior D or block, but again, allowing him to drop down into the paint, and I can choose to play two people at once. And as you can see, the recovery speed on the jump is crazy. Now, that's not what we're here to talk about too much in today's video. Overloads, like I said, it's not such a focal point. There will be one more clip that we talk about with the overload defense, but on top of that, that's just a good shot contest that I have really high vertical for. It's hard to emulate that, especially with a build that doesn't have great vertical rating, perimeter defense, all types of stuff like that. But as you can see, nice little offensive take right there. Probably could have just dunked it normal, if we're being completely honest. But again, on the defense, I'm literally just going to be taking my arrow every single time. Now, this is going to be a situation with the pick and pop where Tonic once again has to drop down to help Zeke. Now, again, I told you guys that this isn't going to be too much of a video talking about overloads, but early on, just wanted to showcase that overloads really can be defended at an elite level out the corner. And this is where it can be anything from pick and pop to your point guard getting paint crammed on a post up, anything like that. This could still be a pick and pop where, for instance, the point guard maybe drives and then the big man has to drop down and help, then it's left with a 2-on-1 off your corner. I'll go ahead and showcase to you guys a clip of that real quick as well. Alright, so this one might be one of my favorite clips of the entire year. It's from my mixtape. As you can see, we're on YouTube with it. Sorry for all the overlays on the screen and stuff. But anyway, like I said, straight out the mixtape. Right here, Tonic was guarding corner. Apollo, for whatever reason, blitzed straight off this guy to the corner. Can't really explain it, to be honest with you. I mean, he asked himself why he did that as well. Like, he wasn't even sure either. But as you can see, this is a situation that I love. I love being put in these situations, and it's where if you are guarding pick and pop heavy teams, if you can send the popper toward the top or toward the wing on the same side of the corner, aka as long as you don't give up that free pop slip toward an open corner, you're good in my opinion if you have a good corner defender. Because if the pick and popper does pop to the top or toward this wing, you as the third defender right here can always leap off this corner and make the point guard have to make a read. Now, the other thing too is, you're probably asking yourself if you see this, well, why didn't he just stay on this wing right here? It allows the defender from right here to figure it out and guard him. Obviously, he's not going to run like just barely away from these guys. He's trying to get away from the two defenders because he clearly sees that he can get open. However, I'm able to get the passing lane, lurk right there, boom, fly to the top and get that interception, go for the self lob too. It was fire. I love this mixtape too. But anyway, back to the actual game footage though. Like I said, you're going to see Tonic go ahead and drop down. I'm going to make a decision between the two of them, fly at the top, and as you can see, absolutely lurk that. Now, another thing to keep in mind too is when your big man is sending paint help like that, you as the wing defender, all you have to do is like sit in the middle between the two of these guys, and as soon as the ball is passed, pick the person that the ball has been passed to. As you can see right there, I even baited more toward the corner because I didn't want my guy to get the score or anything like that, but as you can see, when you're in the middle of everything, you can make that decision. And then from this point forward, now Tonic can return, or Zeke for that matter, whichever of the two decide to run out to the corner. Now he can return to the person that didn't get the ball past them. This is where overload, like I said, is very bad, if you ask me, in Park. And then on top of that too, this is why 5-out doesn't work very well when it comes to this has been our solution to 5-out for years. The big man just baits down into the paint. We let one guy play two at the exact same time. Wherever the pass is thrown, he commits to, and then whoever was baiting that paint really low just literally goes to whoever the pass didn't go to on that side of the court. So again, great way to shut people down when it comes to pick and pop, when it comes to overload, like ISO offense, when it comes to the 3v3 and stuff like that. And I gotta say, really solid clip right there. But we have so much more in this video showcased for off-ball defense. Now, there are two possessions right here that you're gonna see where we don't exactly get it to work properly, but this is where I like to call playing tag a little bit. This is a method that I use. It didn't work great in this game. The dude didn't really fall for the bait very much, but for me, playing tag means I literally just run to the person who's posting up my smaller guard, then just run back out, because my assumption is that they're just gonna get a little bit scared of it, or it allows me to at least like throw some intimidation at them, yet still return to my matchup and not have to worry about it too much. Right here you can see great rotations. I said this wasn't going to be a very heavy overload game, but listen, there's so much more game to this, okay? So right here you can see I just blitz, I send a double. Now, with this in mind, this is where Tonic does the exact same thing. He plays between two, is ready to fly up to wherever the ball goes, and I'm returning to whoever doesn't get the ball. Beautiful way of really shutting people down when it comes to this overload stuff. Unfortunately though, I don't get the passing lane. He didn't take the shot on Tonic or anything like that. I now have like 0 adrenaline bars, so I can't be the one to really help right here. I'm not going to get a good jump, so I can't really even go for that either. I do try and play a little bit of tag right there. As you can see, I run down and try and just intimidate him a little bit, but definitely not enough to stop him from taking the shot. So a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like I said, I think it's been a really good display of off-ball defense thus far throughout the game, and it's not like perfect either. They've obviously still scored 2 baskets, and they will still continue to score in this game, but I just wanted to showcase to you guys with this video how you can really make some stuff happen. Again, this is a pick and pop to the top. This is like semi-overload a little bit. Not really. I would definitely consider this more pick and pop than overload. He just kind of like floats into the top of the key, and as you can see, it's not like overload. He's still on the left half of the court, but I show a little bit of help to this right here. I'm not gonna lie, if I went crazy and played this lane right here, because if I tapped X in that moment that I went for that, I actually probably could have got that lane and pick 6'd it, bro. But as you can see, at least tagged up right here enough to let Tonic return without a shot getting off, and at least give Tonic the peace of mind to know that he can get back to his guy. And as you can see, then I return to mine, and now there's no shot to be had. Also, Tonic not on the fastest build, definitely not the best perimeter defense either. Now check this one out though. They're posting up the guard down low. I want you guys to see this pass animation that happens on this post up, because he gets the perfect pass over top. I'll let it play out full speed real quick just so you can see it, but the overhead, like, absolute post entry. So when you see this post entry and the overhead pass that completely just destroys a point guard, you should always send the blitz, always send the commit. Let this dude get the 3. I guarantee you 90% of the time, anybody sees this pass animation, they're like, oh, what a beautiful pass. I'm about to go up with this, like, straight up, constantly. And as you can see, boom, blitzed off the corner. I've made a lot of plays in this game so far, but unfortunately, none of them even lead to us getting stops. So it definitely is tough. It just sucks. It is what it is. But as you can see, they have 7 points, even though, like I said, lots of great plays out the corner, all types of stuff like that. That's kind of the truth to off-ball defense. Also, very bad Euro right there. That was just my mistake. Very horrible decision. But right here, once again, a little bit of overload. They're not gonna constantly run this overload though. As you can see, I just play some bad defense as far as the off-ball or on-ball for that matter. Kind of just get a little too greedy in the lane, and then also I was just in a bad spot for defending him. As you can see right here, we try and back it up. We're gonna go for the contact dunk on this possession. It's really what I should have done in the first place too on the last one with the Euro. Just a bad take, obviously. Anyway, into the next possession, you're going to see we make a little bit of a switch. We try and put Tonic on this guy in white, and we put Zeke on the guy in pink, where we're trying to get different matchups, because clearly this guy is the one that's trying to like post up or go to the paint, and we'll let pink do it instead. This is what we probably should have done from the beginning of the game. As you can see though, Tonic gets beat a little bit right here. He goes for the chase down block. Now, if I saw that guard looking to actually like go up with that stuff right there, this is another situation where if someone like gets your big man beat like this, or whoever it may be, and he goes for that chase down block, if this looks like he's going up for that layup, I do encourage you to still try and go for that blitz down low. It's something that I do in Pro-Am as well last year a whole lot, where if Tonic is like kind of looking like he's about to get mashed and he goes for that chase down, I'm definitely ready to send the heat down to the paint for sure. And if Zeke is in amazing defensive position too, again, this is overload situation where if he does get put in that bad spot, Tonic, I'm saying, Zeke can like kind of split the difference between these two guys instead of being a little bit more to the left for whatever reason right there. A little bit interesting, to say the least. But again, if you see two guys on one half of the court, absolutely always play in between the two of them, especially if this one defender down low is looking like he's getting put in bad situations. I'll be able to blitz off the corner. Zeke can play the difference between the two of them, and if he ends up moving away from here and he ends up like kind of rotating toward the other wing, then Zeke can just take him fully, and I can like get back to my regular defense in the corner as well. But anyway, beautiful movement off of that as well though. You're gonna see Zeke gets kind of rim ran, so I drop and he rotates to my corner, and then as you can see, what the big man thought was gonna be a wide open shot, or at least a little bit of a rim take right there, ends up not being a shot, and now the big man catches the ball and gets an offensive 3-second. But again, Great team defense right there. I drop down to the paint. Zeke rotates to my corner. If you have a small guard or someone that has very bad block rating, vertical, anything like that, I highly suggest that you do stuff like that. Right here, I'd try and go for a contact dunk. Don't exactly get it. We're more so here to show defense, obviously, but what I do want to show you on this possession offensively, big man's looking to drop down to me. Obviously, that's who was just on me and just defended me really well. So I get the pleasure of the inbound where I get the smaller matchup on me. And as you can see, I just try and dot Zeke, try and make the dude in white pay, obviously, for trying to drop down. Now right here, you're going to see decent rotate potential where honestly, if this point guard kept on driving, I think Zeke absolutely could rotate to the top right here. You're going to see I lean toward the top though, just in case Tonic was the one to stay down. Maybe a tough decision from the point guard. That's obviously hard to read sometimes too, because you might assume that Tonic was going to drop down to you. And it's actually probably a pretty good pass from this point guard. But again, I would highly suggest if you're a point guard right here guarding this, that you're ready to bail out to the top and let Tonic take that for you. However, like I said, I'm like baiting toward the top and then I return back to mine. And now watch this one too. So Tonic gets stuck in this pick and roll D or pick and pop D, ends up jumping. Right here, if you're dropping off the corner again and you're a like maybe solid build as far as defensively, or you're pretty tall, maybe you're a big man who's playing corner D and you're stuck there for some situation, you can obviously drop off the corner. This is a great play to make right here, where if I see my big man jump, absolutely, if a shot's going up, you have to put a body on the biggest guy. Right here is a corner spot up. He just stays put. I'd be an idiot to only split the court in half and just pick the right side and let this guy pick the left. Because obviously, you know, even though the ball goes to the right, you need to put a body on this guy or at least split the difference and dominate, like assert your dominance of this part of the court too. Because obviously if it goes right, I can get it instead of him. But if it goes left, I need to be able to jump over him to be able to get it. So great maneuver right there. Unfortunately though, I get some really weird rebound animation. I still grab it though off some like hustler stuff or just tracking it down, but that's weird that my hands like hit the ball and literally just don't get it. That's pretty garbage. I have gold rebound chaser for that matter too. That's definitely weird. But anyway, off-wall defense has been absolutely shining in this video. Right here you can see Zeke tries to play my lane. Tonic gonna rotate out to the pink again, gets a nice jump. Everybody's kind of scrambling. Now I'm gonna get ready to help Zeke on a drive, but as you can see, nice little transitions between everybody on the court. Tonic somehow ends up in the paint just off bad spacing from them. Obviously though, he still gets the mash. Once again, we play a lot of good defense in this video that just doesn't get rewarded. It doesn't always happen like that though, in my opinion. I think you absolutely can still get rewarded on defense in this game pretty often. However, you get hit with the clamp breaker, that's tough. But as you can see, avoid the overloads. I wait for Tonic to get up the court. I'm not pushing it to the left way hard and just like forcing him to just sit here on this wing instead. I'm allowing him to get past me so then I can now work obviously with the ISO. And again, clamp breaker, I'm not gonna lie, that's tough. That's definitely tough. I think I still would have had a good take though. It just prevented me from having to do a contact dunk and it was an open instead, which actually is harder for some stupid reason. But right here, again, going crazy on the off-ball D, man. Now, we'll show the offense next possession as well, but as you can see, I'm just lurking. I'm literally just baiting. As you can see, when you step a little bit into here, I'm planning to get back here anyway. I'm just baiting him. I'm just shrinking the court, making it smaller. That's what you absolutely should do if you're a good defender that's stuck off ball. I've had so many locks this year that get so irritated when they're like stuck off ball playing defense because obviously they're trying to employ their 99 steal, their 97 perimeter defense, all those Hall of Fame badges and stuff like that. But you can still make a crazy impact off ball defense by just doing stuff like this, shrinking the mess out of the court. This is unbelievably harder to score when you can play off ball defense like this and still make them pay for passing your way. As you can see, boom, just baited him and just kind of timed it out and just assume like you can get in the head of the offensive player easily. You can just bait him into being like, oh, my guy's open. And then boom, cut the difference that you just showed. And now you're like there and ready to play the passing lane. And you can get steals that way as well. All right, so now I'm going to start showing the offensive parts of this game too, because I do want to just keep the entertainment factor of showing you guys how we kind of joke this game a little bit. So right here is where I'm going to suggest to Zeke sometimes that maybe don't get ready to shoot when people look like they're playing sides. What we can do in these situations, if they switch it once, they'll switch it again. So you're going to see us later in this game have this exact same situation and run more properly or more correct, so to say. Because right there, a little bit tough. It leads to just some randomness off offense. Tonic tries to go for the dunk meter off the corner. We don't get it. And we're back in transition. We're in scramble mode though. You can see I'm jumping at the big man. Tonic was over here jumping. He's going to jump again. I'm going to get ready to go to his, but you can see I'm kind of just baiting again, trying to go to the corner. They get a pick and pop slip where Zeke just maybe wasn't ready for the pop to the corner, wasn't playing his side too hard. And as you can see, they just get a free three. So definitely tough offensive and defensive possession. Once again, I'm waiting for Tonic to get like to his corner because again, overload is just a really bad offensive look. I completely missed that dunk meter bad. They're out in transition. Again, a little bit of a choke job right there. It's really unfortunate because it was more so bad offense. It wasn't even great defense from them on either of those possessions. That was just us kind of playing bad. So right here is where I was talking about the last possession. Now, unfortunately, Zeke wasn't exactly prepared for it. I know I sound like I'm kind of throwing my teammates under the bus. It's just learning like opportunities for him or for you guys watching and stuff like that too. Because once again, when you look to fade into the sides defense, it's a little bit tough. Because as you can see, it wasn't even sides for that matter. Really, it was probably a decent shot opportunity. I will say though, if you're a little bit more hesitant coming off of pick and rolls and can still force that switch, what it allows us to do, as you're going to see, it allows me to know that they're playing very high, like they're playing really heavy sides defense. So now I can just slip easily. So this is the point of maybe forget about that bailout pass that you saw from Zeke that really could have went bad. But let's just imagine that that didn't happen. And now we're just ready to run it back off the first screen. And now I can just run down, boom, hit them with a slip. It's definitely a good option. I think if you guys are ever running pick and roll with your teammate or something like that, tell them also patience is very key and just to not like look to shoot through the double teams or look like shoot through the sides so much because you can absolutely get people caught in those situations. Once again though, they're in this overload stuff. I am more so leaning toward the side of just not giving up a 3 right here. As you can see, I do show some help to Tonic, but I don't want to get dotted from 3. As you can see, Tonic not have plans of rotating out of my corner right there. And Zeke, once again, not very close to playing 2 for me or anything like that either. So not exactly a good time for me to like try and get blitzy and try and like do a lot of stuff. Again, if they don't score a 3 right there, it's now 19-18. Again, a 2-point shot wins it for us anyway. Not to mention, if they scored a 3 right there, then they could get a 2. They could get any offensive possession on this next possession and just like win the game, which is exactly what we don't want. And as you can see, for this reason right here, because I tweak on offense. I think I'm going to be open off the slip, so I'm already holding my X button, and I'm not. I tried to icon pass out of it. I actually tried to pump fake for that matter too, but just unfortunate. Anyway, as you can see right here, a little bit of a miscue. We also don't play sides D very good, and thankfully we were looking to 3 up on that, because if they get a 3 right now, the game's over. And again, we're choking kind of bad. I do think when it comes to the off-ball defense, you need to also include sides defense. Now, I will give these two like the benefit of the doubt. They're obviously on very polar opposite builds. Tonic's on a 7'2" with not great defense, currently upgraded, and Zeke's on a 6'1", so it's a little bit hard for them to communicate switches and stuff like that and know what they can do. However, Zeke goes ahead and makes up for it by greening the 3 on game point where they cannot give up a 3 to lose the game. That's tough. And once again, this is lack of sides defense. This is lack of discipline. This is exactly kind of what I was talking about the last possession for ourselves, where this guy needs to be holding the left way harder and he needs to be holding the right way harder. They go with a little bit of like a front back defense where he's kind of still on the left and he's kind of still on the right. But as you can see, he goes for the reach in and he gets left in the dust, man. I don't think you can afford to do stuff like that at all. But anyway, like I said, the gameplay was more so meant to show you the early parts of the game. I did a gameplay like yesterday and didn't show the end of the game. And then in revision, I was like, man, I still should have just showed the end of the game just for entertainment purposes. I don't want my videos to only be informational stuff. I still want to show you guys the fun parts of games and just show you the competitive ending and stuff like that. So again, not a great offensive game for me. And honestly, the defense didn't even show through like crazy. I got that one good steal and then the one good block as well off like pretty much just playing the overload defense and just playing the good bait off the corner. But I think a lot of the defense didn't really show in the stats either. Obviously, I had a lot of good times where I was like covering a lot of ground, baiting really hard, like shrinking the court, playing a lot of corner defense that actually did make some pretty good impact that unfortunately just didn't show up in the box score or led to them still scoring the next possession or like off a tip pass or just a bad like pass that led to more rotations. But hey man, the more you can make people work, the better. The more passes that have to be made, the better. It can be more passing lanes that are had and stuff like that too. There can be more opportunities at blocks. Maybe they burn more adrenaline, all types of stuff like that. So it all goes a long way, even if it's not unnoticed. But anyway, that's all for video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, for to drop a like, sub if you're new to the noties, all good stuff. And like always, try to 2,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put D or put off in the comments. Search support's made all the way through. But lastly, I kind of just want to talk about how I didn't mention anything about hedge defense in this game because obviously I wasn't in a lot of pick and roll D. That was more so Tonic. I do want to mention though that you need to have something established as far as a system because right here we're kind of playing pretty casually. I don't think everybody's locked in. Like I'm listening to music, Zeke's listening to music. We're over here just vibing, chilling in the party and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff I was doing was with very little communication or anything like that. Just those like overload sets kind of was the main communication. But in this gameplay, you saw a lot of Zeke on ball with Tonic on the backside with pick and pop, pick and roll stuff. And again, I think with like pick and roll D, you have to have a lot of stuff established. It's a lot of talking though, and again, not everybody does it. You might be playing with people that you literally don't even talk to on the game either, so it gets even more difficult in that situation. But again, maybe just show to your teammate, if you're playing with randoms, show to your teammate which side you're playing harder. I promise you there's a lot of people out there, even if they can't talk to you, they understand that if you're playing right side on a pick and roll really hard, they're probably either going to lean to the left really hard for their hedge defense, or they're going to just play sides with you outright. That's not a foreign concept to play sides D in the park or anything like that, or even rec for that matter. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys that tip as far as off-ball D, because it's technically off-ball D to be a pick and roller, like a backside defender, so to say, or guarding the screener, but obviously it's still contributing in guarding pick and roll, which can turn into on-ball D. So just wanted to mention that. But anyway, that's all for the video. Hope you all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.